The Simple Path to Wealth is a book written by J.L. Collins that teaches readers how to achieve financial independence and retire early by investing in low-cost index funds. One of the stories in the book is about a man named Pete who was drowning in debt. Pete was a successful businessman who had made a lot of money, but he had also accumulated a lot of debt over the years. He had a large mortgage on his house, several car loans, and credit card debt that he couldn't seem to pay off. He was living paycheck to paycheck and was stressed out all the time. One day, Pete met J.L. Collins and told him about his financial troubles. J.L. Collins gave him some advice that would change his life. He told him to sell his expensive cars, downsize his house, and pay off all his debt. He also told him to start investing in low-cost index funds to build wealth over time. Pete was hesitant at first, but he eventually decided to take J.L. Collins' advice. He sold his cars, downsized his house, and paid off all his debt. He then started investing in low-cost index funds and watched his wealth grow over time. Today, Pete is financially independent and retired early. He no longer has to worry about debt or financial stress, and he's able to enjoy his life to the fullest. His success story shows that anyone can achieve financial independence and retire early if they're willing to make the necessary sacrifices and invest wisely. The story of Pete from The Simple Path to Wealth is not just about getting out of debt and investing in low-cost index funds. It's also about the importance of living below your means and making intentional choices with your money. J.L. Collins emphasizes that the key to financial independence is to spend less than you earn and invest the difference in low-cost index funds. By doing this, you can build wealth over time and achieve financial freedom. Pete's story illustrates this principle perfectly. He was making a lot of money, but he was also spending a lot of money on things that didn't bring him happiness or fulfillment. By downsizing his lifestyle and paying off his debt, he was able to free up money that he could then invest in low-cost index funds. This allowed him to build wealth over time and eventually achieve financial independence. But perhaps the most important lesson from Pete's story is the mindset shift that he had to make. He had to be willing to let go of the things that were keeping him in debt and preventing him from achieving his financial goals. This required discipline, sacrifice, and a willingness to change his habits. Overall, the story of Pete from The Simple Path to Wealth is a powerful example of how anyone can achieve financial independence and retire early if they're willing to make intentional choices with their money, live below their means, and invest wisely. Another important lesson from Pete's story is the power of simplicity. J.L. Collins advocates for a simple approach to investing that involves buying and holding low-cost index funds over the long term. This approach is easy to understand and implement, and it has been proven to be effective in generating wealth over time. Pete's success in achieving financial independence and retiring early was due in large part to his adoption of this simple approach to investing. Instead of trying to beat the market or pick individual stocks, he focused on buying and holding a diversified portfolio of low-cost index funds. This allowed him to capture the long-term growth of the stock market without taking unnecessary risks or incurring high fees. In addition to investing, Pete also simplified his lifestyle by downsizing his house and selling his expensive cars. By living a simpler life, he was able to reduce his expenses and save more money, which he then invested in low-cost index funds. Ultimately, the lesson from Pete's story is that simplicity and discipline are the keys to achieving financial independence and retiring early. By adopting a simple approach to investing and living below your means, you can build wealth over time and achieve the freedom to live the life you want. Another important aspect of Pete's story is the role of mindset in achieving financial success. At the beginning of his journey, Pete was weighed down by debt and financial stress, and he felt like he was trapped in a cycle of working hard just to pay off his debts. However, when he met J.L. Collins and learned about the principles of financial independence and investing in low-cost index funds, he began to see things in a different way. He realized that he had the power to take control of his financial future and create a life of abundance and freedom. Pete's mindset shift was critical in helping him achieve his financial goals. He had to let go of old habits and beliefs that were keeping him stuck in debt and embrace a new way of thinking about money and investing. This required him to have faith in himself and his ability to succeed, even in the face of uncertainty and doubt. The lesson from Pete's story is that mindset is just as important as strategy when it comes to achieving financial success. To succeed in building wealth and achieving financial independence, you must believe in yourself and your ability to make smart financial decisions. You must also be willing to let go of old habits and beliefs that are holding you back and embrace a new way of thinking about money and investing. Learn, grow, and prosper with GP School of Finance. Subscribe now and unlock the keys to financial success.